All right, and in true Paolo Santalucia fashion, I'm sweating the moment I get on stage, which I'm sure all of you got to know very well over the last 4 years. Well, thank you very much, and good evening, distinguished guests, faculty, parents, and classmates. 4 years ago, I never would have imagined that I would have the privilege to be standing here before you today, so I have to thank you very much again. So much has transpired on this stage: witch trials, singing cats, kettle drums blaring, urban art, and the sacrificing of dancing virgins. It has been a true pleasure to have shared all of these moments over the past 4 years. I would like to start by saying thank you and congratulations on completing high school at this grueling, musical, overdramatic, and oil paint smelling place that is ESA. When I first sat down to write this speech, I really thought I had it right. I sat reminiscing and being nostalgic about all of the memories contained in this building. I finished the speech, I put it aside for a while, I came back to it, and I thought, wow, this is really terrible. So back I went to start anew, and in the middle of tearing out my hair, I realized what my problem was. I was too focused on a single aspect of the school, too focused on writing about what this place has meant to me and trying to convey that to all of you. I thought, how? How am I supposed to be able to focus on all of the experiences that we've shared here in a few minutes? The answer is I can't, and I'm not going to try to. What this school has been for all of us has nothing to do with a single experience. It has to do with the fact that we have all spent 4 years of our lives in an environment that has taught us an enormous amount. The hard thing, the truly difficult thing in talking about this school lies in the fact that it is inherently different for all of us. My ESA is different from yours, as is yours from the person beside you. That is also its beauty. Each one of us expressing it through our artistic form and discipline. To quote Tolstoy, art is not a pleasure or an amusement. Art is a great matter. Art is an organ of human life, transmitting man's reasonable perception into feeling. Everything that you take from the school has to do with the multiple people, performances, rehearsals, tests, failed projects, late assignments, and rushed essays that have gone into it. All of the acrylic paint stains, the dropped lines, the flat notes, the sprained ankles have taught us things that no other place could. If all of these lessons were universal, I would have no trouble in listing them, but they are not. Looking out to all of you reflects back to me the 200 different meanings that ESA is. 4 years ago, we did not know each other. 4 years ago, I walked in through that door, sat down in the center, and looked around me, past the painted doors into this giant room, unknowing of the enormous role that it would have in shaping my future as well as yours. I saw the other students filing in, and I don't think I've ever come closer to losing control of my bladder in public. I could count the people I knew on one hand. Now, we all know each other's names. We have laughed, cried, and gotten frustrated together. We've grieved, performed, and critiqued each other. 4 years later, I can honestly say that we know each other. All of us have brought something to this school that has shaped the lives of the people here. Multiply that number by the amount of teachers behind me, and I think that is coming closer to the scope that ESA encompasses. There's not one ESA from which we have all come together and learned. There are as many different versions of this school as there are people in front of me. Because at the end of this day, this auditorium is still an auditorium. Composed of 4 walls, a section of seats, and a stage, this room would hold no memories if it weren't for the people within it. These memories may have been from being bombarded with projectiles from Mr. Payne, or they may have been watching a senile Mr. Parks punch $154,037 in for a Coke that cost $1.50. They may also have been significant, taking our first bow here, or trying to avoid Mr. Morgan because you skipped his English class and you're scared for your life. Regardless, the brilliance of this school lies not in the physical beauty, but in its capacity to house such amazing people with great talents and many gifts. I realized this on Labor Day when I woke up and I thought to myself, tomorrow is the first time in 4 years that I will not be looking for a locker across from a painted door in the drama hallway. I will not be laughing and reconnecting with the people whom I have grown so used to seeing every day. I will not be trying to promise myself to keep my locker cleaner this year or to use my agenda more. For the first time in 4 years, I will not be a student at ESA. And that had nothing to do with the fact that I would not be returning to 675 Rolling York Road. It had to do with the fact that I would not be returning there with any of you. The time we spend here seems so significant in regards to specific moments. For example, that bus operator who always asked for a student card, even though we're getting on the bus from the school! Well, it sure as heck seemed a lot more relevant when we were in grade 10 and had time to think about it. The issues that were once the biggest things we could think of are now the smallest. The hours of rehearsing and studying are now memories in 2-digit numbers. In the end, they are snippets of a 4-year term in our lives, a snapshot of the years that continue to move past us. But, together, they form the part of us that is sad to say goodbye. Those moments of scrambling to finish projects in the halls at 7:30 a.m., having a large coffee and chocolate chip cookie on the way to class, and sleeping in neon-colored sleeping bags, those will be what form our memories, not the singular actions that took place around them. That is why I couldn't think of one experience to talk about tonight. I realized that in no way was this place ever that simple. At times, I wished it was, as I'm sure do many of you. But in the end, I've learned more from my many days of headaches than from my days of ease. We are all here today to celebrate our successes. We are here to look at the past 4 years as one long road we have traveled to reach this point. But now I ask you not to regard it in that way. Not to think about receiving a diploma and have what you've learned about yourself be secondary to that. Tonight is not about the piece of paper you are holding. It is about realizing that we've completed a task much greater than that. We've grown up together. We have traveled, learned, laughed, cried, clapped, awed, but never booed together. We've changed together. And that is something much more difficult to achieve than maintaining a good average. In the final moments that we can officially call ourselves students of this school, remember that we will remain so forever. The moments that we have made for each other could not have been done alone, and I think I speak for all of us when I say I couldn't have imagined ever growing up in a place more amazing, terrifying, familiar, and yet still mysterious. What we will remember from this evening are the people who were here with us. At the beginning of the speech, I thanked you, and I'm going to do so again. Thank you to the parents for coping with our insanity for the past 4 years. Thank you to the teachers for their outstanding support. And thank you to you, class of 2007. Thank you to those who could not be with us tonight, but whose presence we feel in our hearts and whose memories we hear in our minds. Thank you for making this place one of fun and hard-learned lessons. Thank you for all the songs, the plays, the symphonies, the dances, and the paintings. Thank you for making saying goodbye one of the hardest things ever faced here. Thank you for the past 4 years, and thank you for the possibilities you have helped create. This is it. The last time we'll attend an assembly in this building. Coming back here is like returning to that first day 4 Septembers ago, only this time the nervousness is gone, only to be replaced by admiration for those in front of me. When you leave here tonight, think of your steps out not as the last you will take as an ESA student, but as the first ones on your way to new and amazing things. Shakespeare said it best. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or else lose our ventures. And so, as the curtain closes on this act of our lives, prepare for its rising of Act 2. Break a leg, sure to be an amazing show. Thank you.